So, we begin with very important chapter of our curriculum. आज से लेके जब तक मेरा आखिरी क्लास होगा, probably December, we'll be doing this only. It is time value of money, and we'll go to that level, that unimaginable, unbelievable level, that nobody can frankly challenge you regarding all these financial calculations. Take this word straight away from day one. Nobody can challenge. Not even my CFA students can challenge, because they don't have to study all this. So, first slide. Which would you prefer, 10,000 today or 10,000 in 5 years? Anybody which says 10,000 after 5 years? तो मुझे 10,000 दे दो, no problem. ठीक है, so that means our mind understands this concept really well, correct? So obviously it is going to be 10,000 today. There is no other answer. So you already know the concept of time value of money. It is there in your mind, जो हमें lighten करना पड़ेगा, right? So now you tell me what have been the reasons because of which you selected 10,000 today. Sorry? Exactly. So one reason is inflation, correct. What another reason comes to your mind?
Depreciation of
Money. That is because of inflation, correct. Any?
We are in India, positive interest rate.
Yes, you will be getting some interest rate on that money, right? So definitely your money deteriorates. Your money can also grow when you invest. ठीक है? और कुछ? Is there anything which is coming to your mind? Inflation आ गया, interest आ गया, right? So these are the simply two reasons for which you select 10,000 today. So the answer is interest. Answer is interest. अब interest कितने तरह के होते हैं वो हम classify करेंगे. It is not the simple FD interest. Don't take it that way, right? So time is a very important factor or element in your decision, because time always allows you to earn interest, right? And when I invest money, I am sacrificing my consumption needs today. So for that also I need some compensation in terms of interest, right? So interest rates is the clear reason why did we select 10,000 today. Now, interest rate is the measure of time value of money. And very interesting thing, say if I have to make a deposit in SBI and if I have to make a deposit in, say, corporate, where risk is going to be higher? Once again I repeat, say option number 1, you need to deposit money with State Bank of India. Option number 2, you can also deposit money in some corporate. So where the risk is high? Corporate, naturally. So different risk and so many different things like maturity, risk, then liquidity, these are the factors which will affect your rate of interest. सीधी सी बात है. So when I say that corporate में क्यों ज़्यादा interest आप लोग demand करते हो, so definitely it comes to your mind that SBI is 100% going to give your money back. But yes, there is some, it's not 100% uncertainty, but there is some uncertainty with corporates that they may or may not return your money on time. So you will ask better returns, definitely. So different risk profile will change your different required interest. It is also known as equilibrium rates. So interest rate on government bonds normally are lowest when investments, and bank FD deposit or bank FD rates are higher than government bonds, and corporate bonds pay you even higher rate of interest because of the risk involved. Don't worry, we are going to classify all these things in extreme detail. Now, what are the different names we need to understand for interest rates? So it can also be known as required rate of return. It can also be named as discount rate. कब कौन सा नाम यूज होता है वो भी हम सीखेंगे, डोंट वरी. सो अभी आप बस सुनते जाओ, डोंट strain your mind heavily because धीरे धीरे clear होगा कि हम क्या करने चाह रहे हैं. And then another, it is also known as opportunity cost. ठीक है. So अब actual में पढ़ाई शुरू होता है अपना. What can be there in the interest rate? First one is real risk-free rate. So first question which comes to my mind is, what is risk-free rate? Government security rate is risk-free rate, but why it is known as risk-free?
In this case, you will get your 100% amount that you have invested.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it?
Government cannot default. Of course, Greece has defaulted, but barring Greece, I mean, overall, mostly government.
Yeah, government should not make default, otherwise it serves no purpose of staying in our country. So, one thing I need is real risk-free rate. So, risk-free rate says that this is the rate, or say this is the minimum rate I should be getting on my investments, because it comes to me without taking any risk. Now, which kind of risk? Are they going to pay? Are they going to pay me interest on time? Answer is yes. Am I going to get my money on time? Yes. So it is known as risk-free. So there is no scope of default in that case. It is known as risk-free. Now, what do you feel like? Should this inflation be higher than risk-free rate or not? Ideally, क्या होना चाहिए? See, what happens in real life, it is situation-based analysis. But ideally, in idealistic world, what should be the case? Should we have inflation rate higher than risk-free rate or not? ठीक है. So risk-free rate, say it is 7% right now, then inflation say has to be less than that. Less than that. So I assume say it is 5%. So there has to be some increase in my purchasing power. सही बात है ना? If there is no change in my purchasing power, will I invest? Impossible. Rather, I'll be consuming all my money today. So, is that the case actually in real life?
Even if inflation is higher, it's at par with interest rate, we are saving because we don't have social security later on.
Exactly.
And
So, it has been observed so many times that even bank FD rates have been lesser than inflation. Still, banks have seen so many inflow from FD. ठीक है. So लेता हूँ, just a moment. So idea is my risk-free rate of return should be higher than inflation. So say this 2% is known as say increase in purchasing power of investor, and ideally we should not invest if there is no increase in purchasing power at risk-free rate. We can think of taking some more things. Now, what is the increase in my purchasing power? 2%. This 2% will better be known as real rate. है ना? So this 2% will better be known as real rate. This is the actual rate of return which investor earns adjusted for inflation. Getting this? Clear? ठीक है? So once investor starts investing, उसके माइंड में क्लियर होना चाहिए कि मुझे रियल रिटर्न कितना चाहिए. So I rework this equation again. So investor says that if I invest at risk-free rate, तो मेरा real increase in purchasing power should be 2%. That comes to his mind. He also observes in the market that what is the inflation. He says 5% is the inflation. So what should be my risk-free rate? 7%. If government is offering 7%, then I'll pick up. Otherwise, I'm not going to select it. ठीक है. So this is the actual working. So ये जो 7% rate आया, this rate is known as nominal rate, right? So which is normally suggested by banks, government bonds. This all rates have been nominal rates. So I go to bank. ठीक है. Bank says for 1 year it is 7.25%. Is it a real rate? No, it is purely nominal rate. When I reduce inflation from that, there comes real rate. right? So I hope that is very, very clear. So real rate is the rate which is adjusted for inflation, and nominal rate, it is pure, simple or say unadjusted rate. Clear है एकदम ठीक है. So do we invest every time in at risk-free rate, or say we never invest at risk-free rate?
Depending upon inflation, because it's keep on changing, so we keep on investing. Right?
But do we invest in government bonds or say treasury bills? No. So retail investors normally don't invest at risk-free rate. It is accessible definitely, but we don't invest. सीधी सी बात है. So there comes one more premium. Say if I am talking about investing at somewhere else, say State Bank of India FD compared to government bond. Should State Bank be offering lesser return than government bond or higher than that? Once again, State Bank of India का FD जो होगा वो government bond से ज़्यादा return देगा या कम देगा? ज़्यादा ही देगा naturally. So why do we demand a bit higher return?
SBI है वो government है.
Naturally. So SBI is considered to be the safest bank of our country, undoubtedly. But still, it is not government. Government is the safest place, so it should be giving you the lowest rate. If it is SBI or say any other bank you pick up, they have to give better return than government bonds. So, say for example, I am thinking of investing in bank. I say I need 0.5% higher. For what? Taking a bit risk on my money. So that will be known as default premium, and say it is 0.5% over and above risk-free rate, right? So default premium means, or say what is default risk? It is not like I am losing all your money, but say untimely payment of interest and principal will be considered as default risk. ठीक है, so SBI में वैसे तो default risk apparently नहीं है, but it is not safer than government definitely. So we ask a bit better return than risk-free rate. So अब मुझे अगर SBI में investment करना है या deposit करना है तो SBI should be offering me 7.5%. If it is not offering, I am just going to leave it. बराबर. Another component which can be there in my rate of return is liquidity premium. Now, what is liquidity risk? First of all, premium is the compensation for that risk. So, what is that liquidity risk? So, क्या होता है liquidity risk?
Which can be cash on. Which you,
Whenever you it is similar, you can use it.
Right. So,
Like real estate, it is highly illiquid.
illiquid, correct. Absolutely right. So, liquidity means easy convertibility to cash. But that is not the exact definition of liquidity. Still something is missing, right? So normally we have taken up like this. Liquidity means easy convertibility to cash. Say for example, somebody has a property worth 50 lakh rupee. Can it quickly be converted into cash? Answer is no. But say he is willing to sell that property at 25 lakh rupees. Will scenario change? Yes. So it is easy convertibility to cash at market prices. That is better known as liquidity. So we always say that bank FDs are liquid, equity shares are liquid, mutual funds are liquid, because you are getting your money back based on market prices. So higher liquidity means yes, there is a better chance that you are going to get your money at market price. Now, say for example, I am going to a bank, same bank. Now it has given us couple of options. Says that one is like you can break it at any point of time. Another deposit says that you can get your money back only after 3 years. So which one should be giving you slightly better return? जिसमें 3 साल का लॉक इन है वही. First one is like you can go to the bank and encash your money at any point of time. Right? That is the case with normal FDs. But another special deposit offered by the same bank says that you cannot get your money back for 3 years. So you are asking slightly more return because you are sacrificing what? 3 years liquidity. So you need some better return. So say liquidity, since this money is not going to come to you, this is just hypothetical numbers, nothing standard here, right? So I want 1% more. So now if I have to deposit in that 3 years lock-in deposit, then my rate of return goes up to 8.5%. So if they are not offering around that, I'm just going to leave it. And last is this maturity. So this is also fairly understandable. Say if I say that you invest for a year and another says that you invest for 5 years, which investment alternative should be giving you better returns? 5 years, naturally, because maturity should also have some role in determining the rate of return. So longer maturity instruments should normally give you higher returns compared to short term, right? Those abnormal situations we are going to study in investment planning, not now. So normally we understand longer maturity means you are getting bit more premium, so that is known as maturity premium. I say 1 more %. So finally that place should be offering me 9.5% return, and that is how we can work out on individual investors' rate of return. And essentially these are the components of interest rates. True, these are the components of interest rate. So what defines our interest rate? First one is real risk-free rate, then inflation, then risk premium, but kaun sa? Default. Another is liquidity risk premium, and last one is maturity risk premium. These are the broadly say components of my interest rates. Correct? Now theory is over and we straight away get on to calculation. So keep your calculators ready. अब मेरा काम खत्म हो रहा है, आपका काम बढ़ते जा रहा है, but initially I need to teach. चलो, anybody who has got fresh calculator, एकदम पेडी पैक नहीं है ना? अच्छा, you have it. ठीक है. So it requires, अच्छा, it is broken or no? It is. Oh, great. So okay, this seal is open, right? ठीक है, चलो. So I'll adjust your calculator after some time. I think you have got professional one, right? Okay, so we come across two types of interest rates. First one is effective annual rate, another is nominal rate. So simple understanding of this says that if I am making FD with a particular bank, bank FDs have compounding. What is that frequency of compounding for bank FDs? Quarterly compounding. So when it is compounding quarterly, will I be getting a rate of return which is higher than what they have suggested or exactly equal to what they have suggested? Change hoga na, I'll be getting more than what they have actually suggested. Okay? So that is known as effective rate of return. So our first calculation starts with understanding simple interest, then compound interest, and then we'll switch over to this advanced technology. Right? Probably if somebody has done all these things in college, मजा आएगा उनको देखने में ये क्या हो गया. And we need to understand technology, simple, right? Most of the times people say that why don't you teach any of the equation? I say simply no, I don't have to teach any of the equation to my students unless it is necessary, because we are so accustomed to use all these applications, mobile phone, Excel, but have we ever developed any interest in understanding their programming? No. So we have to understand how to use all these tools with precision, but what are the formulas working behind, we don't have to get into. That thing has gone away. So modern style of teaching says that focus more on applications rather than development. वो पुराना स्टाइल चालू होगा, पहले ऐसा आया, दूसरा ऐसा आया, तीसरा ऐसा आया, no, that has gone away worldwide. ठीक है. So but मैं तो सिखाता हूँ. Say if I'm investing 1000 now at the rate of say 10%, and which interest method I am following? Simple interest. For how many years? Say 3 years. ठीक है, इसको 3 years नहीं करते, 1 ही साल कर देते हैं. 1 year. What amount am I going to get after a year?
1100.
fairly understandable, simple, right? No problem. So कैसे अपना पुराना equation rather, I'm afraid that if I don't write wrong, so it was I is equal to PRN by 100, I believe. सही है ना? So what is my principle? 1000 into rate of return is 10 into period is 1 divided by 100. Yeah, it gives me 100. So it is 1000 plus 100 becomes 1100. Simple interest is not used frequently, but it is not useless. It is not useless. We are going to use it because it is extremely useful for certain calculations. But yes, in routine life, we deal more with compound interest. So yes, fairly simple. If it is not simple interest and say it is compound interest, then what is going to be my answer? It is anyway going to remain same. What's the reason why they are remaining same? It is just 1 year, right? So that you know. अब इसमें मैं थोड़ा change करता हूँ. Say it is, let the period be 1 year, but say it compounds semi-annually, so twice in a year. So understand how interest is going to be calculated. So I am investing 1000. This is per annum. So what is my semi-annual return? In percentage, 5%. So on this I am going to get 50 rupees interest, and the end of the semi-annual period value is 1050. Clear? Now this first semi-annual period, now let us open up second semi-annual period. Now my interest is going to be calculated on 1050. So इस पे अब 5% कितना आएगा? 52.5. I hope this, are you getting this, right? So ये simple calculation, मैं कुछ ज़्यादा detail में stress नहीं कर रहा हूँ इसको. So it is 102.5. So now what is my actual rate of return in this case? It is more than 10%, definitely. So if I say convert this into percentage, it is going to be, say, I invested what amount? 1000. It has been 1102.5. So what is the interest have I earned? 102.5 over what amount of investment? 1000. So it is becoming 10.25% rate of return, which is 0.25 higher than the suggested interest. So this is known as nominal rate, or say this is the stated rate, and this is what we have achieved is known as effective rate. Is that clear? Set हुआ. Now say it can compound quarterly, it can compound bi-monthly, it can compound monthly, it can compound daily. So equations are going to go really bigger, but we can do all these things very simply on our calculator. So open up our calculators. ठीक है, चलो. So we start with this question. So calculate effective annual rate if the stated annual rate is 12% and the compounding is semi-annual. ठीक है. So एक चीज क्लियर हो गया. Our stated annual rate is 12%, means जो बैंक ने हमको रेट बताया वो कितना था? 12%. And what is the compounding? Periodicity or frequency of compounding? How many compoundings in a year, or how many times interest is going to be calculated in a year? Twice. ठीक है. So अभी आपको आपके कैलकुलेटर पे एक फंक्शन ढूंढना है, that is known as ऐसा लिखा हुआ आपको ढूंढना है. So try to search where is it written. Right? मिला सबको? On application also it is above number 2. Same. Doesn't change. ठीक है. So stated annual rate 12%. We have to find out if interest is computed twice in a year, what is going to be my rate of return. ठीक है. So open up that function, but you have also seen कि it is not on a proper button. वो बटन के ऊपर के स्पेस में लिखा हुआ है. ठीक है. So shift button, that means हमारे केस में second लिखा होगा. It is just above, or it is the second button in the first column. मिला सबको? See, this is your financial calculator. So यहाँ पर जो येलो कलर का बटन है, दैट इज योर सेकेंड बटन. ठीक है. अब सेकंड प्रेस करके नंबर 2 प्रेस करो. सो यू विल बी गेटिंग समथिंग वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग ऑन योर स्क्रीन. क्या दिखा रहा है स्क्रीन पे अभी? नॉमिनल. सही है ना? सो योर स्क्रीन डिस्प्लेज नॉमिनल. ठीक है. अब वहां पर हमें इंसर्ट क्या रेट करना पड़ेगा? व्हाट इज अवर नॉमिनल, नॉर्मल और से अनकंपाउंडेड रेट? 12%. सो वी नीड टू टाइप 12 एंड प्रेस एंटर. ठीक है. सो वी रीस्टार्ट. सी वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट something like this written on the calculator. It is ICONV and the full form of it is interest conversion. It is interest conversion. ठीक है. Now it is not on the button. It is just above number 2, which you can see here also. So to open it up, we need to first of all press that yellow button, that is second, and then press number 2. Something will come up on the screen that is known as NOM. ठीक है. Now type 12 because in our question our rate is 12%. ठीक है. 12 लिखा. ठीक है. But calculator doesn't accept data straight away. You need to press enter. Enter button है ना? It is second in the first row. ठीक है. So now it is displayed like NOM equals to 12. Done? ठीक है. नाउ प्रेस डाउन एरो. अब डाउन एरो पहली रो में मिलेगा आपको फिर से. राइट. इट इज थर्ड एंड फोर्थ बटन. डाउन एरो एंड अप एरो. राइट. प्रेस डाउन एरो. क्या आया? इफेक्टिव. अभी आंसर नहीं मिलेगा. फर्दर प्रेस डाउन एरो. C/Y or we can say C/Y. This is nothing but number of compoundings in a year. So how many compoundings in a year in this case? 2. Type 2 and enter. Right. Otherwise calculator is not going to accept the data. Right. So now C/Y equals to 2 displayed on the screen. ठीक है. Further press down arrow. फिर से नॉमिनल आ गया. ठीक है. No problem. Further press down arrow. EFF. Right. So it works in a loop. पहला है नॉमिनल, दूसरा इफेक्टिव, थर्ड इज C/Y. वो लूप में चलते रहता है. सो यू कैन प्रेस डाउन एरो, अप एरो, वॉट एवर द थिंग, यू विल बी गेटिंग इट. ठीक है. अब हमें क्या ढूंढना है? EFF. राइट. एंड मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली इट इज 0 इन एवरीबडीज कैलकुलेटर. शायद आपके कैलकुलेटर में 0 नहीं होगा, कुछ डेटा रहेगा. ठीक है. नो प्रॉब्लम. सो EFF पे आप बी ऑन दैट. एंड नाउ फाइंड आउट CPT बटन. It is first, है ना? अच्छा, press it. क्या हुआ? Yes, that's the effective rate. That's it. Done. हो गया. So if I do this thing for 12%, it is going to be 1,100,236. Simple. हुआ क्लियर? We'll have to work a lot on this. क्योंकि ये पहले 2-3 वीक तक तो आप बटन कैसे प्रेस करने वही भूल जाओगे. सो विल बी लर्निंग मोर ऑफ दिस टेक्नोलॉजी एंड लेस ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट्स. मेहनत ज़्यादा करना है, देन विल ओपन अप सो मेनी कॉन्सेप्ट्स. ठीक है. नाउ नेक्स्ट से इफ इट कंपाउंड्स क्वार्टरली तो क्या करेंगे? हाउ डू वी फाइंड आउट क्वार्टरली कंपाउंडिंग? सो चेंज कहाँ करेंगे? रेट अपना 12% फिक्स, 2 की जगह पर 4 करेंगे. इंसर्ट 4, बी ऑन इफेक्टिव एंड देन प्रेस कंप्यूट. $12.55. It has been so easy and simple. सही है ना? कुछ नहीं, 1 rupee. It takes 1 rupee principal. Because it works on a simple equation. This equation is, it is 1 plus r by m raised to n into m minus 1 into 100. That is the equation this calculation follows. Right, so that is the actual equation which is behind this calculation, but we don't have to remember this equation. Simply say if it is compounding bi-monthly, so how many bi-monthly periods in a year? 6 bi-monthly periods in a year. ठीक है ना? So now press C by Y6 and find out effective rate. ठीक है. Further, say आ गया ना सबका आंसर? Are you getting this? Anybody still stuck? Okay, so we do one more, that is monthly compounding. So how many monthly compoundings there can be in a year? 12. So just put it 12. आ रहा है? ठीक है. Okay, can we repeat this entire calculation for 15% per annum return? चलो फटाफट. So if it is 15% nominal, compounded semi-annually, then quarterly, bi-monthly and monthly. No need to reset, we'll have to overwrite. First is semi-annual, then quarter, then bi-monthly, then monthly, then we can also go to daily. वो भी कर सकते हैं ना, वहाँ गिनना है कुछ भी. Uh, 15 point, semi-annual is 15.56, okay.
Quarterly is 15.87.